welcome to another episode of CDN SportsTalk. You are with me, I'm Ayn Latonio, and before I introduce to you our guest this episode, I would like to invite you guys to please do like and subscribe to all our social media accounts that's going to be posted here. That's CDN Digital on all socials, and we also have channels on WhatsApp, Telegram, and Messenger and Viber, and of course our website at cdn.ph. Without further ado, I am joined by one of Cebu's most known yoga teachers.
Wow.
Kuya Juan! I am with teacher Ayn. Ayn, introduce yourself, Ayn. How long have you been teaching? I'm with Ayn. How long have you been teaching yoga? Kanala lang.
Been teaching yoga for 9 years now. Exactly 9 years.
Exactly 9 years. June. What made you start yoga? Ay, by the way, si Ayn, one of the many known na mga students ni Ayn is our first Olympic gold medalist sa Philippines, Fidelin Diaz, correct? And then, in the span of 9 years, ubay na gyud ang mga natudluan ug nagaida ni Ayn through yoga in sports. But before we dive in, yoga plus sports, or sports plus yoga di Ayn. Ayn, tell us how you started as a yogi. What made you start? By the way, nurse ni si Ayn by profession, correct? Nurse ka, di ba?
Sahay.
Sahay. Sahay, ganahan lang siya. Sahay, di. But yeah, what made you start yoga?
It's a long story, but long story short, I used to be a varsity player sa USPF, basketball varsity. And after I sort of semi-retired, you know how we athletes still eat like athletes, but don't train like athletes anymore when we retire. So I wanted to find a way to keep myself fit. And so I continued going to the gym and working out, but at the same time, I didn't want to bulk up either. So I did alternate training days. So let's say MWF, I do weight training, and then TTHS, I do cardio. And the yoga instructor, who happened to be my training partner at that time,
who was?
Si Alex. I don't know if you know him. So I think he teaches in one of the studios here. Still, he invited me in. Since it's your cardio day, why don't you try yoga? And so I did. And at first I was reluctant. Okay, it was mostly women and in the mostly the older age group. So yeah, same. I think most boys who practice yoga
would agree also.
Would probably have experienced this before as well. But yeah, it was my second downward facing dog, and I was already sweating so much. And
what class was this? Like beginners yoga?
Vinyasa. It's usually vinyasa sa gym. And so, second down dog, I was already sweating so much, and I thought, okay, this is not easy. And I always like a little bit of challenge, and so I went to class twice a week. It became 3 times a week, and yeah, I'm here now.
You were a student, di ba? How were you able to say na we're ganahan ko mo teach?
No, it was, I didn't plan on teaching at all, but so I started practicing yoga 2014, and then...
Tiduang na din may bless ko, babe.
Uy, pagpagulay ko ni mo.
And then 2014.
So, and then after I think a month or 2 since I attended my first yoga class, I met this teacher who was based here. He's Indian as well, Sivir. He was my teacher for the longest time. So I just exclusively attended his classes for the next almost 2 years. And then he left for India. And I was lost, so I didn't have a teacher here anymore sa Cebu. So then I decided, okay, maybe it's time to go to India and maybe explore and maybe deepen the practice a little bit more.
So you went to India for teacher training?
Yes, I went to India after around a little more than 2 years since I first attended my first class.
Really? How long were you in India for the training?
Well, the first time I went to India, I was there for, I think, around 40-something days. So it was, because the training itself is exactly 30 days or almost a month. And then I spent another 10 days just exploring, seeing the sights.
How are you as a teacher? Ano sa man mong ganan ma-learn sa mga
Kamu
students?
dyan makatubagan ng mga students.
Ayn is very traditional. He likes to take things slow. And by the way, teacher na ko si Ayn sa yoga. So how would you like to teach yoga to karang mga kami, mga yoga practitioners, as you'd like to call us?
Well, easiest way to put it, I just wanna teach how I learned. So kung yun sa ko pag-teach sa mga teachers dito sa India, well, that's also the same thing that I will transmit to the students. That's why I would consider myself an educator more than a teacher. I don't want to just guide the students. I want to at least help them find their own way in sa kaning yoga nga journey nila. So that's because that's also how I was taught.
Of course, na namin interview aning Ayn sa una about what yoga really is. Nantay interview ako, flash ka ron, flash ka ron. What is yoga for you and how should one see yoga? Because now, daghan kayo sa Instagram, kinikontra kayo ninyo. Mag-post lang or something. But it's different man good when you've been practicing yoga and you've been guided with the right teachers. So Ayn, what is yoga for you and how important is yoga to sports as well?
Okay, so I'm not gonna answer what yoga is for me. I'm just gonna answer what yoga is.
In general,
So, to really understand the yoga practice, we need to understand the two definitions. So the first definition is, if you translate this term or this word yoga from the Sanskrit language to English, it literally means union. It means to join together. Ato lang ni siyang italk in terms or in the context of sports.
Yes.
So basically, in the simplest way to put it, yoga is how you find relaxation or calmness or clarity under stress when you're in a stressful situation. And at the same time, if we talk about yoga, or at least the definition of yoga from the Yoga Sutras, I know wala kayo nakailan ng Yoga Sutras, no, but it's the ancient scripture. One of the main ancient scriptures of yoga. It defines yoga as absolute stillness or absolute peace of mind. So, Monisha, that this is a very important definition to understand because this sets the intention and the direction for our practice, especially for athletes who are constantly in a state of, we can say, controlled stress during practice or even during competitions. It's,
Ang pressure, Ayn, it also is one of the stresses.
Yes. Pressure, stress can come in different forms, traffic, weather, deadlines.
Correct. Na-stress ko ni mo ron, Ayn.
Interviewon ka.
Correct. Na-stress me sa each other.
Camera sa mo tubangan, spotlight, may good. How do you stay calm, or at least try to stay calm? Well, that's yoga.
That's yoga. How would you invite people to start practicing yoga?
Just try it. Don't be shy. I know nowadays our main source of information is social media, and you'll see a lot of people or a lot of yoga practitioners, very flexible, very strong, very mobile, and you start to think, I can't do that because I'm too, I'm not that flexible, or very common nga ako masugatan, kadaog ba kag sa kong kagalingon. But again, I think we established earlier that yoga is more of a mental practice more than a physical practice. But we'll get there. Again, di mo siya lumba, so
dili di ay? Hindi ako sa lumba ni.
Paganin niyo. Paganin niyo.
But yeah, and very quick rigid na to interview about yoga and incorporating it in sports and how some people like me makita agad sa yoga is important sa among daily life.
Oh ba?
Yeah! Kaya ma-pressure ko na si Ayn sa kong kilid, ma-pressure ko kung siya akong teacher, but then finding stillness, so dyan na, pirmi dyan na mag-start finding stillness. But Ayn, thank you so much for your time. I know busy kayo ka, and maybe ganan kag na kay ganan shout out. Ganan ka kayo ingon?
Wala naman.
Nabotan lang ka. Asan ganan ka shout out naman mga ka-dogs?
Shout out mga athletes.
Okay, mga ito. na yung mga Cebuano athletes, di ba? Na kayo mga Cebuano athletes also.
Yeah.
Let's shout out nila sila. Malilay siblings. Nakalimutan sila mga
Yeah, sa mga athletes. Well, to be honest, di ko ganahan nga mao ni akong niche because I know yoga is for everyone,
Yes.
everybody, for different situations in life. Whether it's for health maintenance, for fitness, or for mental clarity, whatever. But mao naman gini akong di rin naman ko nailan sa yoga in sports or for athletes karon. So yeah, shout out to all the athletes. Continue to train your mind as much as you train your bodies. That's where yoga comes in. Heidelin, Malilay Sisters, Al, Ika, all the athletes there.
Ako din.
If ganahan mo, athlete ka, pandul mga kagluwa.
Anyway.
For all the athletes there, I hope that sooner or later you'll start to incorporate yoga in your training regimen.
Correct. Ayn, again, thank you so much. Ayn is a good friend.
Salamat.
For now, okay naman may kamera. After, hindi na sabi magtagad. But anyway, again, thank you, Ayn. Thank you so much for coming. And again, I'd like to thank everybody who's tuning in to this episode. And please do like and subscribe to all our social media accounts. It's going to be flashed right here at CDN Digital on all accounts. And our website at cdn.ph and also our channels. Again, this has been Ayn Latonio for this episode of CDN Sports Talk. I'll catch you guys again next time. Bye!